Hello and welcome to the show. This is United Kingdom Talk. My name's... who is it? You can't get the words out today. I've had trouble talking all day. Not that I've got anyone to talk to here. You know, I wander around the house talking to myself most of the time. But I have had a very nice 3 days and 2 nights with my 2 nephews and the older one's girlfriend staying. We visited Fort Park and so much to tell you. Look, I wrote list of things to tell you, but we haven't got time today. I'm going to have to do this on the next show because the emails are building up. You know I don't like to fall behind with those, so I'm going straight to those today. And you can, of course, join in by email. The email address of the show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And by the way, as my older nephew has been, he has been able to help me up the stairs with my wooden shelving unit. Now, don't worry, I haven't spent anything on the show. God, it will never happen. I won't spend money. I can't spend money. It's against my religion. It really is. But I had this wooden thing downstairs, and where I'm sitting here on the sofa, right? Picture this, right? Close your eyes. I'm sitting on a John Lewis sofa, boys and girls, which has been here a while. Next to me, on the left, was a glass cabinet. Now, as you well know, I do video this show as well as do it for the radio. So there are people that watch this programme on the YouTube. Well, I did have a glass shelving unit to the right of me, which is your left. But I noticed the lights in front of me, the television studio lamps, were reflecting in the light. So I've now replaced this with this wooden version so there are no more reflections. And let's face it, gang, you know, if you can see more than one of me, it's a problem. And if there are reflections of me all over the place, I mean, it's enough to make you throw up, isn't it? It really is. So I must thank my little nephew, I say little nephew, was he 24 or 25? I think he's 24. Well, I can't remember now. He's either 24 or 25. I must thank him for assisting me in bringing up this very, very heavy piece of antique furniture from IKEA. So thank you very much. There we are. And I'm displaying my little artefacts as always. Right, straight to the emails. First of all, it's Brenda in Lancaster. Hello, Brenda, who's become a regular correspondent on the show. Haven't you, my darling? Lovely to hear from you, Brenda. Hello, this is Brenda from Lancaster, PA, USA, Pennsylvania, 6500. Hope this email finds you well. Here in Lancaster, we were having a heat wave as far as October weather goes. Well, it's funny you should say that, dear. We've been having a little bit of an Indian summer here. Oh, where on earth? I don't remember having temperatures in the 70s at the end of October, beginning of November. It's wonderful. The sun has got its hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. Oh, it's been lovely. And indeed, yesterday when I took my lot to Thorpe Park, it was a wonderful time there. Well, weather-wise, far too many roller coasters for me, I'm afraid. We don't like roller coasters. We like to watch people, right? But strangely, oh, no, that's for tomorrow. That's for the next show. We can't peak too early, okay? All right? Hold on to your horses. I can't tell you everything in this half hour. Brenda says, it was in the low 70s, see, same as here, for the majority of the week. Very nice. We had rain all day today. Of course, it always rains at the weekends, but it is still warm, about 65 degrees. Yeah, do you know what, Brenda? I don't mind the rain so much. It's the cold. I hate the cold weather. I hate snow. Why people ever want to go skiing or climbing up Everest? Please tell me, what is the point of it? What is the point of walking up a big old hill? Is it to tell your friends, oh, I've climbed up Everest? Is it something to be proud of? Please tell me. I don't understand it, dear. Walk, 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 with their little pickaxes. Some of them die. I mean, what's the point of it, dear? Climbing up those big old hills. Today, my husband Henry and I, oh, that sounds very, very royal, the way you said that, Brenda. My husband and I. Sadly, I can't say that because there is no husband in this house. Today, my husband Henry and I went to Baltimore, that's Maryland, to see Fiddler on the Roof. Oh, I'm just trying to think of a song that... If I was a rich man, la 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 la. Oh, I love that one. This is the farewell tour for Topol, who plays the main character, Tevye. You're just starting to use foreign names to me now. I'm not very good at foreign names, I'm afraid. Topol is the actor who played Tevye in the movie version, as well as over 2,500 stage performances. But the play was phenomenal. We had very good seats, centre section behind the orchestra pit, about 6 rows from the stage. Yeah, I always think if you're going to go to the theatre or something, you know, you've got to spend the money to sit at the front. You absolutely have. I honestly don't see the point in getting a seat, you know, whatever, a quarter of the price, right at the back at the top. I mean, why even bother going? You know? I think anyone who goes to the theatre, you've got to save up for that front row ticket, even if it means waiting another couple of months. This was the first time I had seen a professional performance of Fiddler on the Roof. Henry was very excited to go see it because his father, gone for about 12 years now, used to sing "If I Were a Rich Man" all of the time. I admit I nearly cried doing the song "Sunrise, Sunset, da 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 da." You may have noticed, incidentally, boys and girls, that I only tend to know the words to songs for the first line, and then it's all la la las. I was going to ask you, actually, is anyone into sort of in plays? Do we have any actors or actresses or television people watching who have to learn words? How do you do that? Please tell me. I find it incredible. People can learn like whole songs and things like that. That's why I do karaoke, because the words are in front of me on the TV screen when I do my karaoke nights. I used to be in a gang show, which is like a scout show. I'm going back here about 25 years now or more. And for that we had to learn words. And quite often, if there were like 3 verses and choruses to a song, everyone knew the first verse and the choruses, but the second and third verse was a bit like that. Mouths were moving, but you couldn't hear the words. How do you learn words for songs? Please let me know if you are a singer. How do you learn the words? Let me know on the email. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Anyway, once again, she says, I admit I nearly cried doing the song Sunrise Sunset because it made me think about my daughter Melanie, who is getting married in July 2010. Oh, Brenda, the little girl is leaving the nest. She is going to fly away and make her own little nest. Hopefully not out of twigs and bits of grass, though. I do hope she will be purchasing a house rather than these DIY people who do it themselves. They build houses and they all collapse around them, don't they? Huh? My sister was distraught when her daughter Tracy left. That's a couple of years ago now. And also her son Gary left. She is distraught, but she still has a little boy there. Jimmy, my nephew. Yes, my other nephew. He's still there. And he misses his mum when she's not there. Oh, he rings her up and says, "Miss you, Mum." Oh, I wonder if anyone will ever miss me. I don't even think my cat, Katie, misses me ever. She just walks around. I'm sure she's only here because she gets fed, that cat. Terrible, isn't it? Brenda goes on to say, I did get some distressing news last week. I had mentioned in my previous email that we enjoy going to Hershey's for concerts, or Hershey for concerts, which is an area. Same place as they make the chocolate, which Brenda told us in a previous email. We got exceptionally good tickets for Def Leppard. Oh, it's a bit heavy for me, dear. Oh, my God. All that long curly hair and guitars. Def Leppard, dear. Oh, no. I'm more of a ABBA and Luther Van... Well, of course, Luther's not here now. But I'm more of an ABBA and Luther Vandross fan. Yeah, soul and pop. That's what I like. And... oh, who's the big black guy? Oh, very popular in the 70s. Barry White. What a voice. Hey, how does he talk so low like that? Da 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 da. Yeah, baby. Da 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 da. You want to come close to me? All words, you know what I mean. You're the first, my last, my everything. Anyway, she goes on to say, we got exceptionally good tickets for Def Leppard, who was scheduled to appear on November the 20th. However, last week they cancelled the remainder of their tour. What's happened then? Have all the strings broken on their guitars? Have they all stopped to have a haircut? I should hope so too. Come on, Def Leppard, let's have the clean cut look. We need short hair, dear. I am completely crushed, as they are my favourite band. I have seen them 9 times. Do you not think that's a bit excessive? 9 times, dear? I think you've got a bit of an obsession there. I really do. I can only hope that they will tour somewhere close by next year. Well, I hope so too. What are you going to do? Huh? Do you have that? You know when you're playing Def Leppard CDs or records, I don't know what you've got there. Do you turn the volume full up so it annoys the neighbours? Do you? Do you? As far as... I remember when I was about... you know when you are a young teenager, we lived upstairs in a flat in Roehampton. And the man downstairs used to be shouting. I'd have my window open, blaring away music like ABBA and the Nolans. Well, we are talking about the 70s here, dear. I'm in the mood for dancing. Were the Nolans very big in the States? If not, look them up. Look up, put it on YouTube. I'm in the mood for dancing by the Nolans. Wonderful tune. Pop at its best, boys and girls. What are my favourites? Who's... A little, not so well-known Nolan's track was Who's Gonna Rock You? Who's gonna rock you now? Who's gonna feel your desire? Desire. Who's gonna rock? Do you like the backing singers? I love them, the Nolans. As far as your story about daredevil cyclists, we have the same problem here. Incidentally, talking about daredevil cyclists, guess what? Someone's gone into the back of Ronnie's car again. Ronnie, my best friend. Dreadful. The majority of cyclists here do obey traffic laws, as do I, incidentally, Brenda. I wish to point that out. Although we do have a lot of cycle lanes here. So I don't actually have to go on the roads here in Bracknell, Berkshire. She says, very annoying, and they will flip you off as they fly through the intersections in front of you. You're too right as well, dear. Oh, it does get on my nerves. Thank you for putting the video version of the talk show back on iTunes. I was afraid I would have to start being social during my lunch break instead of listening to you. Oh, no, don't talk to anyone, Brenda. No, very dangerous. You don't know these people. You know, they come across as friends, and really they're trying to get their hand in your back pocket and steal your money and your belongings. I promise you, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and the Father, Son and the Holy Ghost, never to steal a thing from you, Brenda. Honestly, I promise I won't do that. She says, talk to you later. Brenda in Lancaster. And she did send her another email, which says, I just finished watching your show where you mentioned the evil look that cats sometimes give you. Oh, yes. You know when the eyes change. Yes. She says, I laughed so hard I thought I might cry. This programme is not here to bring tears to your eye, Brenda. It's to bring you happiness. Happiness, dear. Happy, happy, happy. Come on, smile, girl. I know that look. My cat also gets the devil ears to complete the look. She says, that is when they rotate their ears around so they look like pointy little horns. That's when I know they mean business. Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right, Brenda. It's lovely to hear from you. You write some wonderful emails, dear. You really do. That their eyes go... I can't even explain it. You know when the eyes are fully wide, they kind of close a bit and the ears go back into points. And then you know that cat is going to attack. Katie does it occasionally. Very strange cats. Why is it that sometimes they suddenly jump up and run out of the house with a cat flap? Why do they do that? They are strange creatures and we love them. Why do we love cats so much? Is it because, right, They don't do as they're told. They're not like dogs, are they? You couldn't train cats. I don't think you could train cats to do anything. They do as they want, and that's it. Right. Here's one. Someone who listens to the show via the Live 365 network, and we were talking about disabilities and people who have disabilities. And I was saying how perhaps it's easier to deal with a disability when someone is born with it, perhaps, and hasn't become unable to walk or unable to see or deaf, whatever. And just a quick one here from, it says Ox Peggy USA. That's all I know. So thanks for the email here. And she says, some folks can handle their disability better than others. Some are stronger than others. Hope one day to see your UK. Great place. And that's from Ox Peggy in USA. So thank you, darling. Yeah, I'm sure they can. I'm sure some people, they kind of, you know, they just get on with it. I'm also sure some people play on it. You know? I actually know one person here in the UK, actually, who plays on the fact that he... I'm not even going to say what he can't do. But do you understand what I mean? That he's got something wrong and he plays on it big time to his advantage. And I know he does because he tells me it. You know, maybe that's... is that wrong or right? I don't know. I don't know. But most people, I would say 99.9% of the people, they don't even mention it. They just get on with their lives. You know, they don't come out and say, oh, could you do this because I'm blind and I can't do it. They don't do that. They just get on with it. You know, wonderful, 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 brave people, I tell you. Hello to Doug in Akeley, who's talking about my green watering can that I played for you the other day, didn't I? And my new instrument, the green watering can, which I lost and blamed my neighbour, someone in Bracknell, not necessarily the one next door, but one of my neighbours in Bracknell, which actually consisted of a couple of 100,000 people, I think. And he says, I knew you were going to end up finding that watering can. Yes, it had mysteriously walked into the shed. I mean, maybe the cat moved it. I don't know, dear. I wasn't there, was I? Thank you, Doug. Hello to Lisa in Crazy and Brook, California. California, here I come. She says, I must share a bit of local idiotic news with all. And she says, recently, on a local news story, they updated about a recently completed multi-million-dollar bridge project that was just completed improperly and did not receive the long-awaited approval to open for use because it had been made too steep for meeting required standards. They will now have to demolish it and start all over again. Oh, we've all heard stories about that sort of thing. Lisa, she says, in the meantime, the many businesses that have been losing business due to the traffic nightmares this project and its failure has caused are wondering if and when the responsible parties will pay them for the loss their businesses have made. You'll be lucky. You'll be lucky. They don't, do they? Terrible. I must admit I laughed at this news because it's typical local hee-haw brand of corruption and absurdity, but also new because of the recent bus ride I took on one of the recently purchased new buses, right, which happened to be another great example of that corruption. You see, it happened to be smaller and narrower, one impossible for wheelchairs or walkers to make their way through. And it is older than most of the other new buses of previous years. Are you making sense of this? Because I'm not. It also seems that to have only to have only its seats recently upholstered. I guess that is considered the Golden Empire's idea of new. So what they've done is taken an old bus and re-upholstered it, have they? Oh dear. She says, the American way. Misappropriation of public funds to the maximum dollar. Gotta love it. Mind you, they were said to be receiving big dollars for buying new buses. This is the third time in the past 15 plus years the Kern County Public Transport System, called GET, had received such money to buy new buses and really only bought hand-me-down crappy buses from New York and other sources. Terrible, isn't it, eh? Wonder what's next. An appointment of a local transportation czar headed by the same guy who bought the new buses? Might as well laugh as to cry. Hugs and love to all my fellow United Kingdom Talk listeners. And that's from Lisa in crazy California. Yeah, we've got some buses in London. Now, all the double-decker buses that are so famous all over the world, the ones with like an open back door where you could jump on and off, they have all gone. They went a couple of years ago. There are still some on the routes that are sightseeing tours of London. Great way to get around London is to actually get on one of these buses, and they have an open top, right? And that's a good way of going around London. Well, the buses that were in for sort of normal transportation purposes were very similar to that, but with a roof. But they've all gone now. They've all gone. And a lot of those were replaced with bendy buses. And they are the worst things ever. Now, we had a mayor of London. He's not mayor now, Ken Livingstone, who actually I quite like. Big personality. I quite like some of the things he did. But one of the things he did do was bring in these bendy buses, and they are a nightmare. They are so long. They are like 2 buses long, and they're joined in the middle, and it kind of almost like a small train, really. And you can't get past them, and they take up twice as much room on the road. They are awful, these things. So I know what you mean about bad buses, Lisa. Terrible. Don't forget the email address of the show. You want to join in at any time? Be lovely to hear from you. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Ross Patzelt writes in, all right, big boy, how do you know? Are you mentioning my size? Beg pardon? I might have lost a bit of weight, actually, because I only had 2 meals yesterday. Yes. I had to have 2 meals yesterday because of the rubbish that we all ate at Fort Park the day before, dear, which I will tell you about on the next show. Ross writes, I've been listening to your Geekcasts, and you were talking about £3.50 carveries. Yes, good value. The Saltdean Tavern in Saltdean near Brighton, £3.50 carveries, Monday to Saturday. It's funny you talk about these, as we go to the same kind of place now and again. There are 3 different places round our area that does these 2 for £3.50, and they are yummy. We are actually going to one for tea today. The one we go to is called the Townhouse, and the drinks and puddings are very cheap too. Do you know what? Yesterday, before my 2 nephews and the older one's girlfriend went home, I wanted to take them out to a pub for dinner. And the trouble we had finding somewhere that does a proper meal with vegetables and potatoes and something. It's all burgers and fish and chips, isn't it? And don't get me wrong, I like burgers and I like fish and chips, but you try and go into a pub and find a proper meal, certainly in Bracknell. I couldn't find one. We went into the Harvester, which had a fairly large menu, but it was all fried and there was no vegetables. It's all, you know, sometimes you can get peas. It's dirt and peas. Where are the carrots? Where's the cauliflower? It was blooming hard work. We did find somewhere there eventually, and I think I had a steak and our pie, but they'd run out of mashed potato. So we had chips again. It's fried, you see. It's very hard work trying to find a proper meal. Ross says, if you add it all up, it's probably cheaper to go to these pubs and get a meal for £3.50, or for a roast, as the cheapest price of a beef joint to buy would be average of £5 for a small joint anyway. And add up all the veggie cost and gas for heating it all up, and I reckon that would be about £7 each. They probably make most of the money off drinks. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, Ross, to buy a glass of Coke in a pub is, I don't know, about £1.50, isn't it? Okay? Coke, for the pub to make that Coke, literally cost them less than 10 pence, I've been told. So yeah, I mean, if you was to just go in for the food, cost you £3.50, wouldn't it? Right? Have a drink, one drink, and that immediately goes up to £5. I would say, sneak in a can of Coca-Cola, darling. Eh? Sneak in a can of lemonade or something like that. Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what I do when I go to the cinema, Ross. Oh yes. I have sneaked into the cinema a flask of tea and a banana sandwich before. It's true. Why pay those extortionate fees for hot dogs, dear? Ross says you should keep your eyes open in a local paper for 2-for-1 vouchers if you like deals like £3.50 roasts. We always like to try these out to see what the meals are like. And he also says, loving the 30-minute shows a lot more than the 1-hour ones. Oh, I'm glad. I've got hiccups now. I'm glad you like that, Ross. Thank you for your seal of approval. Seal of approval. Yes. Ross pats out from Norwich. Good day to you. Who is it? Thank you, Ross. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, lots of emails coming in about our little chat with Gwen the other day, who was talking about her cancer. And Yvonne writes, just wanted to say how much I enjoyed your show with Gwen. What an amazing lady Gwen is. So positive and full of life, and with such a great sense of fun. I really do wish her well with her treatment, and I hope that you're right, and that she'll be able to join you at Belushi's by Christmas, even if only as an observer. Oh no, she won't just be an observer, I'll tell you that, Yvonne. She won't be happy to sit there. She will have to get up and sing. She will. She will get up and sing. I know she will. Because it's obvious that her many friends will be so pleased to see her. Yep, you know they will. Such an inspirational lady. Many thanks to both you and Gwen for such a thought-provoking half hour that was, of course, very moving at times, but also full of laughter. And she says, very skillfully handled. Well done. Very best wishes from Yvonne. Yes, Gwen is an amazing lady. She really is. And so positive. When you've got something wrong like that, you have absolutely got to be positive. People deal with bad news, whether it be health or the death of someone else or a breakup. We all deal with it in different ways. Gwen chooses to laugh. I think I would too. I would make jokes of something I'd had. And she is wonderful. If you have something wrong, you can't sit there and be upset. Got to look positive. Just time for one more email today. And this comes from Scott, who comes down to Belushi's on Monday nights, but he never sings, Scott. You're an observer, aren't you? Just watched the interview with Gwen, and I'm not ashamed to say I welled up. If you could bottle up what Gwen's made of and sell it, this country would be a better place. God bless her to a speedy recovery, and we all hope to see her well fit again soon. And that's from Scott. So thanks for that, Scott. Another great email. As always, if you send in any emails like this, I always read them down the phone to Gwen. Okay, that's it for the show today. More emails coming up, and my trip to Thorpe Park with my two nephews and the older one's girlfriend coming up in the next show. Do join in by email. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Guess where I've got to go now? Dentist. Huh, not looking forward to that. So listen, let's have Chris in. Bye-bye.